What is happening, folks? Welcome to another episode of Sensible and Sensitive. Man, this episode is real special because it's a collective, like a phantom sequel to an episode that we did on Unfiltered Bachelor. It was about grieving, and it was about, it was about a lot, but it was about grieving, and it was about parents, and it was also about a true crime that's happened here in Austin, Texas. And I'm so happy that this is a space that is opened up for people where we can come together and talk about these real serious matters, especially when we have so many media outlets that have covered this story. And if you don't know the story, recap real quick. Just Google Raul Meza as you're listening to this, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon. I don't care what time it is. You're not doing much unless you're driving. Don't Google Raul Meza if you're driving. That will be bad. But trust me, he's got quite the record, and he is going to be brought up a lot of times in this podcast, I'm very sure. But this subject is so sensitive, and I'm so happy and I feel blessed to be able to have both people directly impacted by something that we talked about in that first episode. So go back to the Unfiltered Bachelor, True Crime and Grief. We had Christina Foltz on, and today we're joined not only by Christina. Christina, say hi.
Hi.
We are joined by her lovely sister, Sonia. Sonia, how's it going?
What up, what up, what up?
What up, OG? Yeah. Let's oh, they're knocking upstairs, aren't they?
It's that woodpecker, that damn woodpecker.
The damn woodpecker. This is what happens when you live out in the woods. You get woodpeckers. Let's start from where we left off at, because where we left off at is you were going to meet with the DA come August. They were supposed to have some updates. Who wants to kick this off? How about you?
You can do the. You want me to do the DA meeting?
Yeah, let's talk about it, because we haven't heard a lot.
That was bomb. I rewatched it. I was like, okay. But the DA meeting, I got a feeling that they just were trying to seek more information from us. Mm-hmm. Weren't too forthcoming, and they constantly were, oh, well, we can't provide that information. We can't give this. We can't give that. Mm-hmm. But we're definitely very receptive, or I guess they were more, it was a slight interrogation.
Yeah.
Did they tell you ahead of time what they wanted to talk to you about?
Well, we had requested the meeting just on some, hey, y'all, we're not getting any kind of communication from anyone. Mm-hmm. Radio silence is deafening. And I kind of stepped back. Life was lifing on my end, but between her and my brother-in-law, it basically was handled like they constantly were reaching out to people. Hey, what's happening? What's occurring? We have this information.
Yeah.
And to not hear back from anybody, it kind of feels like we got sidebarred, pushed to the side. Mm-hmm. And so that DA meeting, I felt like, okay, cool. We're going to have there's going to be
some motion.
Some kind of motion. But it ended up kind of being an interrogation. Well, what do y'all know? What do y'all have for us?
Was this the first time that
this is the first time we met face to face, sat down meeting.
In 4 years from the time your mom died.
No, because remember the keys were handed to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was 2019.
Right. So 4 years, fast forward to 2013.
And this is the first time.
23, yeah.
Exactly. And so not only was I informed May of 2023, hey, we had an update on your mom's case. Mm-hmm. And, actually she was raped and murdered. And we're going to do a press release in an hour. And I remember telling the officer at the time, I remember he gave me his card, and I was just like, well, praises be, I'm off work today, because this is a lot to handle.
Yeah, happy I'm in a good place to be able to handle this.
Yay.
Or try to process this.
Exactly. And I find that funny because I'm in therapy, and we talk about compartmentalizing and actually being in that moment. And I laughed. I was like, no one has time to be in that moment.
Right. And then how do you, there's not a manual. You can't just go Barnes and Noble, go pick up a book and be like, how do I process the death of my mother who nobody know at this point, right? In 2019,
in 2019, she was undetermined.
Right.
And then 2023, when they came to my house, mind you, I'm a native of Austin. I worked for Austin 311. I worked for Google. You're able to find me. I've been fingerprinted.
Okay.
I'm very much
out there. Yeah.
You know where I'm at by any means. But it was when I found the irony that we have an update. And then they came to my door. They alerted me of this. And, hey, we're going to do this press release here. And I remember I instantly was like, let me call my sister. Because I guess I was that shock, right?
Shock is the perfect word.
And I just remember I was like, hey, so I just got done with APD here, and they're going to do a press release. Glow, and okay, I call her Glow. Gloria. My car is Big Glow for my mom. Yeah. Her name was Gloria, and I do a hashtag Justice for Glow anytime that I talk about anything in correlation with her.
That was the shirt you were going to say you were wear.
Exactly,
the Glow shirt.
And I think my baby washed it, but it's okay. But I just remember I told her, and I was like, hey, they came and they told me what happened with her because she walked the house with me. I wouldn't have dared walk the house by myself just from I didn't know what I was going into factor. And I call her, she's my blankie. And she knows when I call my blankie, because I have my baby blankie. My mom gave it to, well, it was my blankie before I was even out of my mom. And she makes fun of me, but she's my blankie. And anyway, we're drifting, guys. We're drifting. Let's stay focused. Look, I'm over here. What was the initial question? That's where I'm at now.
We were talking about with a meeting with the DA.
DA, okay. Pretty much with the DA, they were asking, well, what do y'all think happened? Well, why do y'all feel that way?
Yeah.
And I just remember I kept addressing to them. I was like, y'all saw, like, y'all have access to the same information that we do.
Right.
But we have to work for the information because they sealed everything.
Was there a reason?
Because it's now an open case.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
they can be giving out all kind of, okay.
So now since it's an open case, it's no longer public knowledge. I used to work for Austin 311. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's public knowledge. Like, I could go look up a case and I can see it, period. I can see what happened. I can go, there's the, what is it called? I want to research this case. It's like basically like your rights. As a citizen, as a U.S. citizen, you have the right to go ahead and, it's a public search, basically.
Okay.
That
like
you're able to go.
Public records type stuff.
Public records, basically. But now, due to the fact that all of our mom stuff is in an active case, you can't do that. You'll see even over the course of time, stuff will be redacted in documents. There's things that are you're no longer privy to, which is crazy. Even the last court date that didn't exist, but I was there. Yeah. There's news crews that were there, so it happened. Right. But as far as documentation, no face, no case. And
that's wild.
August DA meeting. Basically, then they were just requesting a lot of information from us.
Yeah.
They also didn't know that I had made a video, and that's where we talk about in the last one where I said, I pulled out that Snapchat and I made this video of the crime scene. They did not know about that. And so when they were like, what do you know? And I said, actually, I can show you, like I have video. And that's when we were told that all they had essentially was just pictures and no video.
Wow.
So we were the only ones that possessed this video.
A hard copy motion picture of what was there. Right. But the same way they released that house to me, that there was no, hey, you might want to be aware of what you're stepping into. There was no human empathy. It was just a toss of the keys. Here you go. If there's any new information, let us know. If we find out anything, we'll let you know. Yeah. That was the last I heard. 2019.
Does that, I mean, I've never been around, murder. I've never been I've never been involved in one, and nor have I had a family.
In 2019, it wasn't murder though.
Oh.
In 2019, it was just a death.
It was a natural. Essentially, we chopped it up to it was a natural.
It was a natural cause that no one could figure out. But my logic brain says to me, if you die, there's a cause.
Right. People. Yeah. There's always a reason.
Something occurred to make that. And I just saw my mom the day prior.
Yeah.
So when the police officers were at my house to alert me, I was like, I just saw her.
Yeah. How long before her passing had you? Was the
I
last
saw her
time
the
you saw
day
her?
before.
The day before. Hours.
Yeah, basically not even 24 hours.
Not even 24 hours.
Get all up on that mic too. Next time when you talk, get all up on that mic. Yeah. This just became the ladies' man podcast real quick.
Just get
Yeah, but just get all on the mic. That specific mic. Just get all on it right there like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
all right. Perfect.
But no, yeah. It hasn't been 24 hours since she saw her, and then when she got the call.
There wasn't a call. They were at my house.
Showed up at her house.
They were at my house, and I just remember, I'm very good at addressing the issue. I have to obtain all the information as calm, cool, and collected as possible, and then process. Get it and push through, process. And that's what I did with them. And I just remember I did all of that, got the information, got the little victim services pamphlet with my mom's case number on it. And they were like, they had informed me that they were going to keep the house shut while they were investigating.
What's on the pamphlet? I'm curious because I heard you talk about this on the news, and I feel like, how helpful is this damn pamphlet?
It's about as helpful as 211.
What?
And I worked for Austin 311.
What does even 211 do? I don't think I've ever called them.
211 basically will afford you. It's United Way, which will afford you for information as far as different public assistance.
Okay.
But it kind of sends you in a spiraling circle of sorts.
It sounds like it. If it's anything to do with the city or the state.
Exactly. It's kind of like they provide information, but not really providing information. But we provided you the information.
We gave it to you. Okay.
We gave it to you. You just have to wait 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe get an agent. Anywho.
Wow.
But in any case, so the DA meeting, they just basically wanted information from us. I don't think I halted. Y'all let me play it. They let me basically be the voice, and I pretty much am like, hey, y'all haven't been forthcoming with information with us, so I'm kind of leery. Yeah. And anytime that I go into any situation in any room, I'm very much so aware that I am the minority entirely. I am profiled without actually saying it.
Yeah.
I'm the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with it.
Okay.
And so
it's your life.
To me, it's one of those, I have to hold myself to a different standard. And so as they sat here and they were just like, well, what can y'all provide to us? And I said, what can y'all give us?
Right.
What information can y'all update us? And again, it was kind of like, well, we have to get the approval from APD. Everyone hands the baton over to the next party.
Yeah. It's a literal, and I think anything where there's red tape, it's like, oh, it's this person. Well, it's not just this person, it's this department. Well, it's not just this department, it's this whole nother. And it's like, bro, I just want, and imagine for you, I just want some answers.
Answers would be lovely and beautiful, but I don't think I'm ever going to actually have the chance to really get answers. But I do want to hold the parties accountable to what happened even after our mother's death.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Fraga, had they actually handled my mother's case properly,
he'd still be alive.
He would, factually.
Yeah.
100%.
Because they ended up having that CODIS ping in May of 2020.
2020.
And I wasn't even aware that they had done a rape kit on my mom, much less, oh, there was DNA found inside of her. And, oh, due to the fact that there was... what was it? The protests, the riots, the APD,
the Black Lives Matter APD,
protests, all of that.
But that was That was a year later.
That part.
Yeah.
But they were still.
What
dealing
about
with
that
it.
part? What do you mean?
They were still dealing with it. They were still dealing with it. Oh my God, backlog. So due to the fact that Gloria Lofton, who lived in East Austin, who was a minority, we sealed up her case. We're done.
I heard this point. I've heard you say this point so many times on the news. I'm not saying it's wrong, but what I am saying is...
Had she been a Karen of the West Side?
Let me get to that.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, because it sounds maybe like I'm against you, but I'm not. I want to show something. Every time you say that point on the news gets real uncomfortable. Like it's almost
a subject that nobody wants to talk about.
Nobody wants to talk about. And it's the thing of, I was talking to you about it earlier, right? I was watching your interview. It's a 12-minute interview, all of 30 seconds that they showed when they did the actual, it was like 3 lines from you, a line from Christina, and then, okay, back to you, Karen. Like back to you in the studio.
Because it's a news report. It's not real life.
It's not.
But it's real life for me.
Right. It is so... it's a point that's so unhighlighted, right? It's not highlighted by media, and in my opinion, I don't know. I do think that is a great point. I don't know if that's the main cause, but I do think it's a great point that needs to be addressed.
It's not a main cause, but it is a factor.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And I definitely am aware of. Had I been more aware of our legal system, had I been more aware of. I would have probably operated differently. But just due to the circumstances of everything, one, I was shocked that my mother had passed because I just saw her the day before.
Yeah, hours. Would you say it was like 12?
Less than 24 hours.
Jesus.
Like I just had a whole conversation with her, went by her house. Oh, love you. I even remember, I remember making sure that she ate. But... to have officers at my door, it was kind of okay. Okay, and I'm okay, and I've been placed with okay because the media has provided with me a lot more information than the actual entities that should be providing me information.
That was a question I had for Christina, right? Like on the thing, I was like, "How much information did they tell you?" And you were like, "I didn't know." They're like, "Well, what do you think about this thing?"
They didn't know her death certificate. Said undetermined until like, 2023 when
they changed it to strangulation and
homicide.
Wow.
Which is a huge bigger picture than what you painted us 3 years prior and still continually for all those years, even though, there was no update of the rape kit. There was no update of, well, we might have this thought or theory. Because, again, we never saw the body.
Right.
We still have to this day.
They won't even give us the actual... bump the actual pictures. Can I see the, picture diagram autopsy of what happened?
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of blood.
In that crime scene.
I saw some of the pictures. And
we... Due to legality and all of the above, we haven't just blasted the house in the video. No one's actually...
Who's legality?
Legality is the legal system. What if we provide it? Oh my God. Because technically that's an error on APD side.
Right. Absolutely.
So
I'm saying if it were to leak somewhere,
oh my
what
God.
is the repercussion for you guys? Is there repercussion for you guys?
There could be.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. What?
There could potentially be, but then
what is that?
That would be something as far as us trying to... I can't say it. I'm sorry, because I think to myself, holding people accountable to what it is that they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Which has been my mantra.
Bottom line.
Why is the same detective still active on homicide to this day that missed that CODIS email? Oh, and now they're like, oh, the piss poor apology that we got. Wait, I'm sorry. I can't even say the written apology
to the media.
Well, didn't they do a whole they spoke in front of the media too? Like they did a whole 12-minute, 20-minute thing where they.
But that was after though.
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
Was after, right?
Yeah, it was after.
That was after.
But that did occur. So I did watch that correctly. They did talk about we're sorry to the families of the Raul Meza.
But they went straight to the media. They
never once came to
her.
No, I never got a call.
Right.
I'm still waiting on a call. I'm still waiting on the detective Reed to call me. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can say people's names. I'm so sorry. I'm still waiting on the detective to call or reach out to me in regards to, and I did reach out to him, and I'm continuously reaching out to. My sister has continuously reached out to. Our family has continuously reached out to.
Yeah.
We're still waiting.
Yeah.
But they are very receptive of receiving information. We have handed them basically, hey, here are all the breadcrumbs. Just follow up and see there's more to this than what is just the surface.
So y'all should just be getting paid to be investigators.
They should. They definitely should. I'm more so on some like, bro, I've had to miss work behind this. Like, I'm a single mom. Life's lifing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I'm missing out on work.
Yeah.
But due to the severity, due to this issue, I do have to hold the higher powers that be accountable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negligence. There's a lot of, they just kind of swept our mom's case under the rug. And I just find it ironic that no one's actually owning up to or saying, hey, this is what happened. We messed up. Mm-hmm. I apologize. We apologize.
Right.
It's kind of just like, oh, well, there's this law that protects us. And then there's this law that protects. There's a lot of layers.
Right.
And I'm overhearing about layers. I need to hear updates and what they actually have happening.
Is there a law against sending you an email or a phone call that says, hey, we're really sorry we messed? Is there a law against that?
Oh, I don't think there
Probably
is.
Not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Right.
At this point, you
$0
can find me
to be
very
kind.
well. So it's one of those like.
'Cause if you can go to the media, you can certainly pick up and
Yeah,
write an
I think that's
email
free 99
to
right
But
there.
they don't want us talking with the media. That has been one of their things.
And I don't give a fuck. So, yeah.
Otherwise, what can like? I'm very curious. What is what can be done against? Or are you saying you can't say what can be done against you? Is that where you, I really don't know. Like,
I don't know. I tread lightly.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to incriminate or mess up anything potentially for anyone's case.
Absolutely.
I even remember when we met with the DA, they were like, oh, they asked me, well, do you not, it sounds like you almost don't think that he did it. And I said, no, that's facts that he did. His DNA was found in my mother. But what my issue is, I didn't even know that y'all had done a rape kit on my mother.
Right.
No one picked up a phone to say, hey, this occurred. Or when that CODIS came, no one picked up the phone to say, hey, there was a DNA match that was found in your mother.
Right.
No one picked up the phone. Mind you, I'm a native Austinite. I've literally LexisNexis looked myself up. You can find me. You can find every single address I've been at. It's public knowledge.
Don't do it, but yeah, you can do it.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
do it, but for sure you can.
I'm realistically, but it's one of those, y'all were able to find me, update me, just keep it as professional. And I guess I thought better of the boys in blue.
Man.
I'm forever the optimist, even in spite of all of this.
I heard you on I watched the one with the girl from K-View, and you seem just, I'll say there's a big difference between both of y'all. As far as not how much you love your mother or you want, justice for the system, but it's more of like, you're like, and it's not even passive. What it is, it's a more forgiving and more like we need answers from. And you're like, bro, we're about to everybody about to get stomped the F out. Like, it's two different approaches. I'm not saying that
I'm the aggressor, right? For sure.
She's more combative than myself.
Neither is wrong. I'm just saying I see two completely different things all trying to get to the same place.
It's to the same goal.
Yeah.
My thing has been, had they actually done a little more research, a little more digging, they would have been able to have saved lives at this point.
Right.
I can at least speak for Mr. Fraga. There's other stuff in between that's up in the air. But Mr. Fraga would have definitely been here.
He should have been live.
And it's one of those, even beyond that, I think to myself, the Kendra Page situation, I'm a mom to a little girl, a man out on good behavior after 11 years for raping, murdering, and then the way he just threw away that precious baby's body doesn't sit right with me. And then they let him out after 11 years for good behavior. Hell nah.
I didn't know I could just kill somebody and then go, like, somebody's like, okay, I'm going to put you in a cement house, right?
Just a house.
For 11 years. And
it's a timeout.
Then you come out and guess what? You're not killing nobody anymore, right?
No, because he made the statement.
He made his own press conference. He held his own conference and said, I will never hurt another person.
Oh, yeah, he did. I will never hurt another person again. But then he followed it up with, when he got caught, after his little murder kit he had.
Oh, the serial kit, what he had, the
gun
right,
in his
little knapsack.
When he got caught on Lamar, yeah.
I got all
again,
this
Mari
stuff.
came through already and said, determined that's a lie, right? Like, how it just seems so silly. It seems so silly, and it seems like beyond. And I'm going to add on to top of that, right? It's like, could Mr. Frog have been alive? Yeah. Could have this have been prevented? How many other people in this city have had a crime committed against them? Murder,
I'm curious.
murder, something, this, that, where it falls through the cracks of APD, because I don't think yours. In that sense, it's not unique.
Oh, no.
It has to be that this is a major case. Yeah, one of. But this is now major because of who committed the crime. Now it opens that crack even more. And then what opens the crack even more is when people start to pick at it. You start to pull the thread, and it just starts to unravel even more.
Which is their internal affairs. Oh, we're jumping, bro.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When in the old one, we were talking about that they're having an internal affair, and I said as they
Investigation.
should.
I was gonna say probably a fair.
Hold on,
too.
hold on. We found out it did close. APD's internal investigation, but the media alerted me,
Not
and
APD.
Not APD. The media came to me and they said, "Hey, would you like to make a statement?"
A statement about this
in regards, and I said, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, give me a minute." I was like, I need some time to process, and I'll be able to get back to you." I reached out to the detective, and I said, "Hey, this just happened. I would appreciate it if y'all could correspond with me if I could know something before I actually reach out to the media."